effectively solve issues related to water. So last year in August, when he was in Stockholm Water Week, so we met there and I listened his vision, and it was my first time interaction with him. So it was more like how we can work to solve these issues, and a lot of discussion happened almost a week during the week, and then there was a proposal to constitute the commission, People Work Commission on Drought and Floods. And he kindly accepted a chairmanship of this commission, and from day one to till today, I think commission just born on 1st January 2023 formally, but from last almost 7-8 months, he's trying to build a team where he could work together to solve these issues. And we have head office in Stockholm, and our chairman, his office as usual at his ashram. And we had actually 4 continuous discussion. It was started from Udaipur, and then we had in Delhi, and then we had in Dhaka, and after that the first formal discussion we had in Dharwad, and after Dharwad we are here. And in Dharwad, as Satyaji was mentioned, he wanted to effectively contribute his experience in water agenda of this UN Water Conference, and he wanted to discuss and create the deep discussion together with our members and our commissioners. We have also people from civil societies. So we all are here just to understand why this UN conference, water conference, is important, and with our previous declaration, because every meeting we had declaration, and in this declaration, mostly the focus is how mitigation, actions, and also innovation, all how we can address. So that's what I would like to suggest, and of course the complete information you can get from this flyer. Now, Dr.
Satya, you can say something. We start this walk with Hudson River, and equally there we call a meeting, and but Prakash Rao ji and other people go to the UN conference of some friends. So just he reached today and he come directly here.
I reached 3:30.
He's half asleep, that's why they give him coffee. He's sleepwalking.
So
I have been doing work in the Lake Chad Basin region of Central West Africa. The Lake Chad was once the largest lake system in Africa. It has shrunk by more than 50%, causing all sorts of insecurities in the region. The lake is shared by 4 countries: Niger, Nigeria, Chad, and Cameroon. And the point I was making is that in this part of the world, many communities find authority in their faith leaders. It's an Islamic part of the world, but it's also strongly animistic. So there are traditional African faiths, belief systems, and very traditional forms of Shia Islam. So communities in and around the Lake Chad do not identify with their national identity. They don't see themselves as being Nigerian or Nigerian or Chadian. They see themselves as having an ethnic identity, Kanembu or Kanuri, and their authorities are religious. So they look to their imams, their chieftains, in the case of animistic groups, they look to their ancestral sites and ancestral places of connection. And my point that I was making to you, that I think it's great that you're working across religion and environment, because there are many parts of the world where it is only faith and religion that can hold communities together and command the respect and authority of people. And in that part of the world, especially, there is no respect for central political governments because they don't exist. But there's huge, huge respect for faith leaders. So if those faith leaders were to rally people around the need to protect, say, the Lake Chad, they would have a lot more agency and would command more respect amongst the people than political leaders. So it's great to have a university like the one you're developing, where that link is made, because that's very important in many parts of the world where faith belief systems are more important than political.
Thank you. Just speak a few words about yourself, your name, your affiliation.
My name is Nicolás Salazar Sutil. I am a Chilean person. I have had a journey that has led me to advocacy for water and forests. I set up an organization 2 years ago called Guardians Worldwide. It's a large collective of forest and river guardians. We advocate for the life of forest and rivers as an entanglement. A forest and a river are essentially the same system, and we try to raise awareness, consciousness of this around the world, working with communities directly in the ground, especially indigenous, tribal, and local wisdoms. That's what we do.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Planet is made of water, whether human or non-human. So we're advocating for a kinship of water across the human and non-human world. And this system is made of three sides, if you like. Person, every one of us is a person, a body made of water. We are a process where bodies come together and create communities. We're communities of water. And together these communities make a planet. And that's the journey of this process we are facilitating, from person to planet, with water as the running stream. Beyond the human, beyond the nation, beyond the national interest, beyond all the frameworks that nations have construed, laws, policies, governance, multinational policies, multinational arrangements, all of that has failed. We have to work with a new framework, which is what we're proposing now. And it's a framework full of solutions. And all of them are encompassed by rejuvenation. Rejuvenation is a series of paradigm shifts in thinking and practice, and we propose 10 shifts. From easy to wicked concepts, water has to be understood in its at least 7 forms, not in a simplistic one-size-fits-all concept. That's the first shift. The second shift is from, we didn't touch this, but I think it's important, from information and data approaches to knowledge making. The UN is all about data, so I'm just explaining this. All data, all empiricism, all da-da-da-da. And we need to shift to what we mentioned earlier as confluences. It's a nice little pun. Rivers have confluences. Knowledge needs confluences where indigenous and non-indigenous, community and state, north, south, young, old, woman, male, gay, lesbian, straight, come together, conflow to create knowledge, not data. Our third shift is from education to cultivation through water, so that we can understand, teach, learn, and improve our schooling of water. I didn't really elaborate on that very much. Fourth shift, from water use to water reuse. Water needs to be recycled and cycled in every single action we have with water, in every single form of consumption and supply. We need to think of its reuse rather than its use and lose and let it go, the way plants and living beings do. Point 5, from commercialization to communitization. Communitization of water not as resource, but as a free-flowing, life-giving power. Community not as a
You
human
can use the word not power, energy.
energy.
This power is not a good word
All right.
for us.
All right. Energy.
We are not greedy for power, we are greedy for energy.
Okay. Life-giving energy, not only for humankind, but the communitization of trees, the communitization of flora, the communitization of whole ecosystems. Community is not a human-only space, but an internature. Shift 6, from monoculture to a diversity of water systems where we respect the gene pools of waters in all their diversity and life-giving energy. Shift number 7, from present short-term thinking to future thinking, or from present to future thinking. Shift number 8, from economic value to water value, the values of love, of care, of giving, of respect, of reciprocity, a value-based shift. Shift number 9, from water keeping to water flow, allow waters to flow in air, in underwater, underground, etc. And shift number 10, the last one, from outer to inner processes, understanding the inner energy, the emotions, the psychological, the spiritual aspects of water, the happiness, the joy, and the physical inner water we all carry in us. When we drink, we imbibe, and we carry that river inside of us, from outer to inner.
Okay.
So if we were to design this as a website, you can have the first page as just
As a
3 things.
standalone, yes, yes.
And then click here for more detail, and then you go to the 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's got those 2 layers to this
Okay.
to make it easy.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I want to bring, I really like it. This is great. The other question that I bring now, just coming to join the commission, has to do with, so if I look at California where I live, and even if I look at the county where I live, the water issues are so specific for what to, I would love to do what you're doing, but because of the laws and all of the complexity of US government and the California government and the county government, it's not possible to just do it the same way. Like you can't mobilize a community to just do the restoration work. So it seems to me, and what I understand, that California in a way is its own country, separate from the US. And so it made me realize is how much the local issues, like all of this is fully applicable for how we speak as a commission. And then the other question is, from that, how do we go to our home places and say, now we have very specific issues and ways that we need to affect change in that place. Like the change in my county will be very different from Rajasthan. And so bringing these ideas is one very good step to say this is our approach. Go to the government, go to advocate, create water councils and this kind of thing. But then the question I have is how to say, okay, and now each region that will have people from the commission representing it carries that back and needs to work in their specific way. So it's like the global to the local concept. I think this is my biggest question, is how do we convey these really big, important ideas of paradigm shift at the same time as we have the practical reality on the ground that at this moment it's not, each place is going to be very different. Like where I live, there's wineries taking all the water out of the ground and the wells are drying because of the wineries. And the wineries have a huge amount of money and a huge amount of power, and there's whole organizations working just to put lawsuits against the wineries to keep them from polluting the rivers. And meanwhile, all the water that was just coming in the rains in California, just going down the river into the sea. And it's like, actually we need to be putting the energy into building catchment.
Yeah.
But how? Because all the land is privatized or government controlled and they don't let us. So this is, I just have to carry the big question, like how do I do this in my place at the same time as bringing the big water message of what we do as a commission, how to convert it into action in my home or your home or wherever we are all from.
Spent the 3 months in California. That land, the both side of the Ons Valley, that land related with the indigenous communities. And the 100 years before, there is a 25,000 Red Indians. Now instinct, very less number of the people living there. And the whole river dry. The lakes and ponds and tanks, all is dry and dead. Why? Because they all river put in the pipe, big pipe, and the all water supply in Los Angeles. So this is a real disastrous story. And when I visit that whole valley, this Ons Valley, after that I speak, and I think you can capture this word also, because this word discussed today morning. Today we are saying the developed and developing and underdeveloping. These 3 words we are using in a language of development. So this development is not a real definition of development. The development definition starts with the displacement. The displacement of wisdom and knowledge, and displacement of the pupil, and displacement of the soil and greenery. So this is the opening point of the development today. So this development we not need. So my dear friend today morning very forcefully is saying the bad development and good development. So if we start this debate, so we are losing time and we are losing so many things. So we can give a creative concept, rejuvenation. No displacement, no destruction, and no disaster. So we can say the development we need, but we need the development without destruction, without displacement, and without disaster. So, a lot of debatable issues under the name of development. So we can forget this word, and if we open this word, so we are again losing the time. So we can give some creative path, and that creative path giving the solution of today crisis. Today the global crisis is the climate change and global warming, and the output is the drought and flood. And the output of the drought and flood is destruction and displacement of the pupil. And where the displacement of the drought and flood and the people moving to other places, and where they are going, the people say, oh, the climate refugee coming in my city, these climate refugee creating a disaster for our life. So this phenomena is going on in everywhere. In last 10 years I spent a lot of time, my seen and my eyes the evidence, the more than 120 countries I visited in last 10 years. So this is the phenomena, and this is the output, and this is the disaster of the development. So today we think very positively and creatively. We are not moved of the struggle. Now my age is a little saying, oh yes, yeah, we can do something creation, and we can live with happiness. The happiness comes with the creation. So struggle pass side, and the love and respect and happiness come with us. So our group can say nicely, yes, we live and we like everyone can live. Everyone can live with happiness. So if we can move with the path of the happiness, so someone listening and someone make a change in some time, not the sure the this time, but sometime they are listening and they can make a change for better common future. The better common future of this planet is a peace and prosperity with happiness. न्याय मिलेगा ना नैतिकता मिलेगी, वहां तो अन्याय मिलेगा। इसलिए तुम्हें न्याय और नैतिकता ढूंढनी है तो फिर ऐसी जगह जाना जहां प्रकाश की कोई किरण ना जाती हो। वैसी जगह जब तुम जाओगे तो तुम्हें न्याय, नैतिकता, शांति सब कुछ मिल जाएगा।
ट्रांसलेट करना पड़ेगा इन लोग के लिए।
ट्रांसलेट कौन करेगा?
So he's trying to say that wherever there is injustice and violence,
Leadership.
huh?
न्याय and leadership, right?
Ethic.
Ethics.
lack of value system, injustice, where this is prevalent and those are dark times. So
A website repository. There could be the drop, this is the drop, and then 200 other manifestos. The California manifesto, the Chile manifesto, the Rajasthan manifesto, each manifesto with its own little drops added to this, rather than this is the Bible. California, you're not following the Bible. No. So I think it's important that we emphasize that this is a drop, and we encourage people to add. So whatever it is you learn in California, we put it back into this drop, and we add it to a growing manifesto. But that's so important to avoid the top-down law kind of Moses. Everybody follow. Yeah.
Good, very good. So now we can reach a little bit in end. The end of today, I think.
Sir, are you saying be your own light also?
Papers in my hand, and I am not working with paper. But today, very good way and very good word and very good language he put in front of us. But now, what we say, we need the light, we need the energy. And we are exploring within darkness. But we like light and we like energy. Why? Because we live on this earth and we are part of this nature and earth. So this nature needs something from humankind, relation with this. So this relation, this healthy relation, what is the we can create with this earth and with this water? Yes, the UN system say the one earth. The last year they declared the one earth. But one earth is not possible without one water. Only the water can say I am the one and I am the one of planet. Only the water can say. Earth can't say. Because the earth we divided in the national boundaries. So if you divide it in the national boundaries, so that not the truth. The earth is one. Yes, we are saying Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, one family, one earth. We are using these words, but this is not truth. The truth, this earth is disintegrated. And disintegrated in the boundaries, national boundaries. So, we accept this earth is divided in the national boundaries. If we explore the one, so in our Shastras say, Apaha Brahmasmi, Apa mane jal, मैं ब्रह्मा हूँ, मैं ही ब्रह्मांड को बनाता हूँ और मैं ही ब्रह्मांड को चलाता हूँ, मैं जल हूँ। और ये सच्चाई है। यदि जल ना होता तो इस धरती पर जीवन ना होता, ना हमारा जीवन होता, ना पेड़ का होता, ना पक्षियों का होता, कोई जीवन ना होता। धरती होती, दिस अर्थ इज यस एग्जिस्ट, बट लाइफ संभव नहीं थी। तो यदि हम उस लाइफ की बात करना चाहते हैं तो अब हमें कुछ ना कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा। बिना करे तो हम नहीं बैठ सकते। और करना क्या है? करना है हमें प्रकाश में जाना है। जो ज्ञान है, जो विजडम है, जो इंडिजिनस नॉलेज सिस्टम है, एंड अमेरिका सबसे ज्यादा त्राही त्राहीमान है ड्राउट एंड फ्लड से। भाई यदि ये विकसित थे, यदि ये सच्चे विकसित थे, तो विकसित तो वो होता है जो आपदाओं को आने से पहले पहचान लेता है। विकसित तो वो होता है जो आपदाओं को आने से पहले रोक देता है। तो फिर ये कैसे विकसित थे? ये तो झूठ था, झूठ पर खड़ा था ये विकसित। तो फिर अब ये नेचर ने बता दिया कि तुम झूठ बोल रहे थे, कि तुम विकसित हो। अब हमें ये समझना होगा कि सच्चाई को जरा ढूंढने और सच्चाई को पकड़ने और उस सच्चाई के रास्ते पे चले। सच्चाई का रास्ता ये है कि जो इस धरती पर आया है वो धरती पर रहकर कुछ करना चाहता है। आत्मा उसको करने के लिए आदेश देती है, और वो जो आदेश देती है उसमें से उसकी जो रिजिलियंस है, उसका जो रियलाइजेशन है और उसका जो इंटरलाइजेशन है, वो उसकी रिजिलियंस को क्रिएट करता है। और जब वो रिजिलियंट होता है तब वो ड्राउट और फ्लड को रोकने के लिए खड़ा हो जाता है। जैसे राजस्थान हुआ, राजस्थान में 10,800 स्क्वायर किलोमीटर ज़मीन को उन्होंने ड्राउट एंड फ्लड फ्री बना लिया। और ये कोई 10 साल की बात नहीं है, 42 सालों का अनुभव है। 42 साल कम नहीं होते, आधी शताब्दी होती है। आधी शताब्दी का अनुभव है, ये आधी शताब्दी का अनुभव बोल रहा है। और बिना किसी सरकार के और बिना किसी साहूकार के,
अंग्रेजी में बोलो।
हाँ सॉरी,
उनको आदेश करते हैं।
मिल रही है लेकिन उनको समझ नहीं आ रहा।
more than 20,000 years before, a person name is Janak. The Janak is a king. The king have so much love with his queen, and after marriage he is living with queen in palace, and he is loving so much to his queen. He forget the nature and he forget the people. So the angerness of nature starts, and not good rains coming. Our book, holy book called Ramayana, and the chapter is the birth of Sita. Sita is a role model, great role model of nature. greatest role model of on this planet called Sita. So when he is loving so much to Queen Nature, angerness, and at that time the people gathered and they reached to the palace and they say, राजा तुम रानी के प्यार में भूल गए हो प्रजा को, तुम रानी के प्यार में भूल गए हो प्रजा को, प्रकृति को आया है गुस्सा, उसने बरसना बंद कर दिया है, सुखाड़ आ गया है धरती पर, त्राही त्राही मान है प्रजा और तुम भूल गए हो प्रजा को। तो राजा कहता है तो बताओ मैं क्या करूं, क्योंकि वो राजा बहुत अच्छा था, वो त्रेता काल की घटना है, वो कोई कलयुग की या द्वापर की घटना नहीं है, त्रेता काल की है। तो प्रजा ने कहा कि राजन इसका एकमात्र रास्ता है कि आप और रानी दोनों मिलकर हल चलाओ। राजा और रानी मिलकर हल चलाएंगे तो प्रकृति प्रसन्न होगी, और प्रकृति प्रसन्न होगी तो ये जो सुखाड़ आया है ये मिट जाएगा। You explain in English, Naren, because that is very important on the
There was a king by the name Janak, and then he lived with his wife. You know, you have been immersed in your pleasures and all those things. So, we now give your labor to the earth and give back to the earth. So while he was plowing, all his sweat fell on the earth, and the
seed
nature
of the
got
soil.
and the seeds got, you know,
Sprouted.
That's how the story goes.
So that is the story of the adaptation of the drought on this earth by the labor,
So that is
not by the
literal,
machine.
but
Labor.
it's a
That is the
symbolic-
mitigation of the
it's a
drought.
symbolic thing.
That is the story in the 20,000 before in our book in
Where
Ramayana.
does this story come from?
Ramayana, right?
How old is this story?
Ah, yes.
Ramayana.
Ramayana.
How old?
20,000
That's
years.
20,000. 20,000.
Sir, one small break.
5,000 is.
She gave tea only for 3 people without sugar.
No,
The rest of the
because
people,
she
no.
knows that we don't eat sugar.
No, but that's
They are there always. But the further destruction happening now. We cannot completely 100% stop drought and floods. Even when forest was 80%, there are droughts and floods. So for example, Maharashtra, these are Bid, Aurangabad, Parbani, Nanded, millions of people died 200 years ago. At that time, the forest cover was more than 60, more than 70, more than 80%. Climate is like that. Sometimes definitely floods will come, sometimes drought will happen. But in all these 200 years, lot of destruction that took place. And it is affecting different parts of the world. So, first, my appeal is to Baiji and Ashutosh. First, you focus on natural cycle. How these floods and droughts in olden days, when Janaka was king, and much before that Buddha period, and much before that Veda Kal, there are floods, there are droughts. First, we have to get the knowledge about the historical perspective. Second is, there are local and global challenges. Global challenge is 80% global warming is because of thermal power. That is the universal challenge. Every country. See, all these countries are signing on the sustainable goals and Paris Agreement and all. But still they are very fast in encouraging this thermal power. They know that. They signed, we will put an end up to 2030, 2050. China signed at 2030. Now they postpone to 2050. Again they will postpone to 2100. So we have to, because we are representing India in United Nations. Minister will say his version, but Baiji should say to all nations, you stick on your commitment, promise. Written, they have given written agreements, signed on the agreement, Paris Agreement. That is one thing. Second thing is, so many distractions, not only thermal. See, these, they are completely emptying the minerals. That also responsible for global warming. The United Nations and other nations not focusing on the stopping of extraction of mineral wealth, over exploitation, and removing all the hills. They are disturbing natural equilibrium, ecosystem. They are disturbing entire ecosystem, over the ground, under the ground. That also we have to focus how far it is responsible for drought and floods. These are the global challenges, but there are some local solutions for local problems. Like Rajendra Singh ji.
Let me, myself.
Yes.
Basically, that's what I was talking from the beginning, because after Deepak ji's a very deep conversation, discussion, and I appreciate he given two, I think more than 2 hours, different ways he given, the different insights he shared with us. The word development means displacement. That's what you said.
Destruction.
And if see the life of Bhai Sahab, he first fighted for biodiversity.
Yes.
To don't destruct. And then he started to restore biodiversity through his activity. If we see his life, 40 years of 45 years of his actions, I think he restored the biodiversity, because he began with the fighting to protect the minings and all these things, and after that he conserved life because of the water and all these things. So that's what I said. Even again, I'm giving my strong opinion with all these backgrounds. The drought and flood, mitigation, adaptation, and innovation, how we are going to address to the whole world. Nobody wants and nobody has time to read your 200 pages
Thing is missing, and I'd like to make the point through an anecdote. My son is eco-counselor in his school, and he was invited alongside his classmates to talk to the counselor, to the local counselor, the local authorities. And it was a room full of old local politicians talking about energy, blah, 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 blah. And then a couple of children spoke, including my son, and my son stood up and said this. He said, "It's time for adults to grow up." And everybody, round of applause, melting in applause. No politician got any applause. Children get more attention when they speak than any of us. If we put a child here saying this, they will get more attention, because the problem we're trying to resolve is the problem of the future. We need to have youth in here to speak this and see what they say and in what terms they say it. Especially if this is going to be called rejuvenation, which means youth. This needs to be a youth-led movement as much as the incredible wisdom in this room. Children have a wisdom of their own, which is the freshness that water has. And I think it's really important to move this forward, to bring in children, especially because they bring that magic. I mean, when my son said that, imagine the pride and the feeling of like, I just melted, like, oh my God, my son said that. It's so beautiful. And I think for us to have children doing that will be beautiful, because they bring everything that we're intellectualizing, they just bring it like that. The joy, the magic, the connection. We really need to bring youth.
The purity.
The purity.
Good. The single sentence summary to me is we are all committing to rejuvenate the water cycle.
Good.
And why not make that the pledge for everybody to take?
Yes.
The actions will fall out of it. Let it be a simple pledge. Ask everybody to take, every person to take, every community to take, a company to take or a country to take. That I commit to rejuvenate the water cycle.
That's it.
I've changed the manifesto to pledge already.
Oh, you changed
I
that.
changed it already.
Very good,
Pledge,
actually, frequency we are matching.
That three-way action plan should be there. One is individual level, second is community level, third is government level.
Yes.
Yeah, it will flow.
Yeah.
It will flow.
Users,
one of-
users, group of users
Yeah.
Yes.
and the governance.
Yes.
Because going back, I mean, to address your point about the boxing battle,
Okay.
we'll not win. We
So-
don't want to be in a battle. We appeal goes straight to the heart.
अभी ऐसा
This is
करें
an issue which appeals to the heart. People get it
Coffee
intuitively.
break.
I think we've reached
15
that stage
मिनट
in
के
the
लिए
planet.
कॉफी ब्रेक करिए.
save Indian farmers.
He is
Tell the what is the title?
Rejuvenate Water's Pledge.
Rejuvenate water.
Like more than, because rejuvenation, noun is a bit too formal. Rejuvenate is more of an action word maybe. Rejuvenate Water's, the
Pledge to rejuvenate water.
Yes.
Yes.
Is it better?
Yes.
That's different.
Yeah.
Pledge.
Place to rejuvenate water.
Rejuvenate water pledge is different.
No, it's
Pledge to rejuvenate water is
too
different.
many things.
Pledge to
before
rejuvenate water is
I think this is a very straightforward.
very straightforward.
Pledge to rejuvenate water.
It's very straightforward
It's a
to
pledge.
reflect drought.
Yeah, pledge for what?
The pledge for water?
Yeah, pledge to rejuvenate water. That's what.
A place to rejuvenate water, I think that's
Everybody
very
happy with
good.
that?
Everything? Huh?
Pledge to rejuvenate waters, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pass.
Please.
Pass.
What is, we are finalizing the
Why, sir?
sorry, call for order.
We too DGH.
Need your attention.
I'm trying to introduce the three sort of aspects of this person, process, planet, and I've written we are Riverkin, or we support, we advance, or something like that. A Riverkin, a kinship of water.
Read the whole thing first.
So we are Riverkin, a kinship of water.
Why not just we have kinship with water?
I'm going to put these two people on the spot because they're walking in as external observers who have no background to the conversation, which is perfect.
Yes.
So they can give a great feedback about how it appears to a complete
Exactly.
audience.
is
Good.
Yeah.
See, we got that. So,
To connect person,
Life, actually.
process, and planet.
Process, life process and
So, person, I'm trying to be PPP, sort
Oh,
of
yeah,
like
yeah.
sounds good in the tongue. Person embodying water, each one of us carries water in us. Process, communities are come together through water.
people partnership and because process is very dry. It doesn't have
I
life.
think Rajesh he
Partnership.
used the good word because the partnership is a give the
overuse.
the right direction. I am saying the name of the participation: eating, meeting, and cheating. So this is my definition of the partnership.
Natural process
So
or something.
I think he used very good word.
Cheating.
Cheating.
I mean, I can tell you this out. So, person, we all carry water in our bodies. Process, communities come together in and through water. Planet,
If you can use some 2-3 more word in this process, the community realization and internalization, the community realization and internalization create a resilience for climate change and global warming.
Too long.
No, but that is not a title. This is the
Even as a
message.
sentence, it's too long. Convoluted. Yeah,
Try to find